Back to the border now. Ahead of Title 42's expiration tonight, the city of El Paso is preparing for an influx of migrants. The mayor has declared a state of emergency. The city has also opened 2 vacant middle schools as migrant shelters ahead of tonight's deadline. Joining me now is the mayor of El Paso, Oscar Leeser. Mayor, thank you so much for joining me on what is a really critical day for you there in El Paso. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
So how are you preparing for tonight for the lifting of Title 42, and are you prepared?
You know, one of the things we've been doing, we declared a state of emergency back on May 1st, but we've also been preparing for quite a while to make sure that we have the proper resources. It's the Secretary of Mayorkas and FEMA has really helped us with the resources we needed. But we all know, we all understand today that the immigration process is broken and it needs to be fixed. But we've been working on this, and we've been working on this for weeks to be prepared. We've opened up the schools. We got the convention center prepared to open. And we've been working together with our partners, which is Customs, Border Patrol, ICE, every department possible, the city, the county, Office of Emergency Management, NGOs. So we're really prepared. You know, I told people that we couldn't do anything different right now, that we would do at midnight tonight. But one of the things that I can tell you, we're prepared for today because we were prepared for the unknown, but we're not sure what to expect days to come.
And as we've been reporting on Tuesday and on Wednesday, we saw record numbers of migrants who were apprehended at the border. What are you seeing? You were in Juarez yesterday. What kind of numbers are you seeing? Are you seeing records there as well?
No, I was over there 2 weeks ago, and the numbers that we saw 2 weeks ago were between 15 and 17,000. You know, they actually had reported originally 35,000, and that's why I felt it was important to go over there and kind of talk to the mayor of Juarez, talk to some of the representatives over there to find out and get a number so we could be prepared. And the number was about 15 to 17,000. Yesterday, when we went over there and drove the border and went to all the areas, they tell me the number is between 5, the maximum of 10,000. So that means that a lot of them have already come across and have gone through, hopefully, the legal immigration process.
I want to ask you big picture about the Biden administration. As we've been reporting throughout the hour, the president has acknowledged he thinks it's going to be chaotic, at least for the near term. What do you make of that? And do you think that the administration is doing enough? Have they done enough to prepare for this moment?
Well, I've worked really well with the Biden administration, and like again with Secretary Mayorkas said, we are prepared, and you know we're preparing for the unknown, like I said a minute ago. But really, we know there's going to be a huge influx, and we're prepared. Everybody we met this morning with every agency you could think of, and we kind of made sure everybody understood what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. And I did talk to some federal officials, and they said that El Paso is probably the city they've seen that really has worked together as a unit, because we want to speak with one voice and make sure that we help the asylum seekers, but understand that our main responsibility still is the safety of the city of El Paso.
What do you make of the administration's announcement that Border Patrol officials can release migrants with no scheduled court date, no real way of tracking them? Does that raise concerns for you that it could compound the so-called chaos that President Biden warned of?
Well, the process that I see is that they go through the immigration process. Here in El Paso, we don't administer or do immigration law, but we're here to assist them. Now, I can tell you that we will help and assist people that have gone through the process and the proper process. And then after that, actually it's up to the federal government. And I really hope that, they agree to disagree and come up with some solution, because right now there is no end game, as y'all were talking about earlier. There is no end game, and there is no light at the end of the tunnel. And we really need to, hopefully, to agree to disagree and come up with legislation that really will help us move forward, because our community or any community up the southern border has the ability to sustain this for long term.
Based on what you see here in Washington, do you have any anticipation that there will be a resolution in Congress? As you know, the Republican-controlled House is voting on a bill today. Basically, it's focused on border enforcement. It's not going to pass in the Senate. The president has already vowed to veto it. What is your level of expectation that this will happen?
Well, my expectation is that something will happen. I know it's been decades since something has happened. So, you can't.
In the next 2 years, Mayor, even though we're heading into an election cycle?
And that is, and I agree with you, that creates a huge challenge. That's why I said, let's agree to disagree and come up with a resolution that's really best for the community, the country, and of course, the citizens of El Paso and the asylum seekers, because at the end of the day, I get that's election process and I understand what's going on, but we're elected to make sure we represent the people of our country.
Mayor, before I let you go, this is a crisis that is not going away. I have been to El Paso. I have seen the strain on your community. Do you have a long-term plan, or are you relying on Congress to fix this?
We do. We'll continue. We have one shelter prepared to open. One of the schools has been vacant for a while. We have a second one that's vacant for a while. And then we have the convention center of necessity. But we also have to be able to decompress the system. And it's important to know when you talk about what's happening, they're not coming to El Paso. They're coming to the United States. And once they get their A number and they become gone through the immigration process, they're free to go, as you and I would be, and travel amongst the United States and go to the destination of their choice. But it's really important as the city of El Paso or any southern border city that we have to decompress the system. We can't have hundreds of thousands of people here without assisting them.
All right. Mayor Oscar Leeser, thank you so much for your time, for your perspective, and good luck over these next several days and weeks with this transition. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful day.
You too.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.